Before he began his journey to becoming perhaps one of the greatest innovators of our time, Apple co-founder Steve Jobs had embarked on a journey to find his inner self in India in 1974, along with his close friend Daniel Kottke. Kottke was the first employee of Apple who put together the first Apple computer in Steve Jobs' garage, along with co-founder Steve Wozniak in 1976. The experience changed the thinking of Steve Jobs, who returned as a Buddhist with a shaved head and whose faith in human intelligence and technology was strengthened while they visited Neem Karoli Baba, the well-known mystic of that era. Upon reaching New Delhi in April 1974, Steve Jobs immediately got dysentery and fell severely sick. He dropped from 160 pounds to 120 in about a week. Once he got healthy enough to move, he first went to Haridwar to experience the Kumbh Mela before making his way to the Kenchi Dham ashram in Nainital, where Neem Karoli Baba had lived. Jobs was disappointed to learn that the Guru had died the previous September. He spent most of his time walking around nearby villages and reading an English version of Autobiography of a Yogi, the story of another famed sage. Among those who were part of the community there was Larry Brilliant, an epidemiologist who was working to eradicate smallpox and who later ran Google's philanthropic arm and the Skoll Foundation. He became Jobs' lifelong friend. At one point, Jobs was told of a young Hindu holy man who was holding a gathering of Neem Karoli Baba's followers at the Himalayan estate of a wealthy businessman. Jobs decided to grab this opportunity because it was also his chance to have a good meal. As Jobs was eating, the holy man, who was not much older than Jobs, picked him out of the crowd, pointed at him and began laughing maniacally. The holy man then led Jobs up a mountain path, debunked his head in a pond at the top of the mountain and shaved his head. He told Jobs that he was saving his health. In the meantime, Daniel Kottke arrived in India and Jobs went back to New Delhi to meet him. They wandered mainly by bus rather aimlessly. By this point, Jobs was no longer trying to find a guru who could impart wisdom, but instead was seeking enlightenment through aesthetic experience, deprivation and simplicity. Unfortunate for the duo though, when they got to the town of Manali, Kottke's traveller's checks got stolen, which brought their trip to an end. In the book titled Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson, the former says, "Coming back to America was, for me, much more of a cultural shock than going to India. The people in the Indian countryside don't use their intellect like we do. They use their intuition instead, and their intuition is far more developed than in the rest of the world. Intuition is a very powerful thing, more powerful than intellect in my opinion. That's had a big impact on my work." He adds, "Zen has been a deep influence in my life ever since. At one point, I was thinking about going to Japan and trying to get into the Ahaiji monastery, but my spiritual advisor urged me to stay here. He said, there is nothing over there that isn't here, and he was correct. I learned the truth of Zen, saying that if you are willing to travel around the world to meet a teacher, one will appear next door." In 2008, Mark Zuckerberg revealed that he had traveled to the same Kenchi Dham ashram during the early days of Facebook at the suggestion of his mentor, who was none other than Steve Jobs. Zuckerberg said that Jobs thought it would be a good place for him to mull the future of his company. Over the years, this riverside ashram has attracted other tech titans, including Google's Larry Page and co-founder of eBay, Jeffrey Skoll.